Well, aloha kakahiaka, everyone. I'm Peter K, and you are live with us on the Aloha Friday Hawaii Real Estate Show today at our new time at 10 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time. But it's the same time for you if you're on the mainland because we don't have daylight savings. Well, we don't switch over here to daylight savings time, and we'll talk about more about that later. But I'm really glad that you're here. I've been really looking forward to this show's discussion because we have Misty with us from the Big Island, and I really enjoy her the conversations with her. She is quite amazing, and she also she's the host of the other Friday show, so make sure you check those out as well. And Ashley Wasson, who I really enjoy talking to as well. Ashley is from Oahu. Really glad to have the two of you here, but we need to warm up these microphones a little bit while the internet catches up with us. So let's why don't we start with you, Misty? Where's the mystical location that you're at for today, and how are you doing, and how's the Big Island, and how are you, and how's the amazing family?
Good morning, everyone. Aloha kakahiaka. Thank you, Peter, for having me here today. I am from Kailua, Kona, born and raised here and currently living in Kīholo, and just so blessed to be in paradise and just continue to embrace all the elements that our island has to offer.
There you go. Embrace. And what is your favorite element today that you are embracing that our islands are offering us?
Right now, it is quite overcast. Typically, it's very, very sunny, which is beautiful. It's Kona. I live on the sunnier side of the island. And the overcast is nice with a little bit of rain that we needed. Our yard definitely needed some rain. So I'm very excited for that.
You know, it's isn't it amazing? I think it's the funniest thing, right? Because we love the sunshine. I'm with you on that, but those overcast days, a little bit of rain, you know, like Ashley, why don't you lead me as I'm leading into the weather? Ashley, you're the East Oahu weather girl. How are you doing, and how's the weather been treating you this past week or so on Oahu's east side?
Almost said perfectly into the T. It's like a nice amount of overcast and rain, just cooling off the day, but not muggy, hot, sweaty. So it's nice when you have rain that cools you off, but doesn't make you feel sticky. And our plants are loving it. We're in our gardening era, as I mentioned in past shows. So plants love rainwater more than they like hose water. So they're happy. We're all happy.
Yeah, you know, that rainwater's been great in those overcast days. Unfortunately for my yard, the weeds love it too. So I got it's like this continual battle. I sprayed my yard a while ago, and I'd gotten rid of all the crabgrass, and I look at it now and it's ugly. It is ugly, and I'm just dreading the idea of having to go back out there and do. But this is what we got, right? This is what we have to deal with.
First world problems, for sure. You can see where we sprayed ours for like the weed grass, and it looks like mow lines because we were like back breaking, spraying it like perfectly, and then the weeds grew perfectly in a line in between each spray. So we still have the weeds, but in synchronicity and not the right way.
There you go. Misty, how do you guys deal with what's the family how do you manage the family policy with yard work on your side, if any?
We are completely out of alignment as we speak. And this is perfect weather that I say, you know what, all you kids, perfect weather, get out there and start doing the yard work. My kids are very spoiled or blessed, I should say, where mom and dad has done everything because we like to do things a certain way instead of training and teaching our kids to do it the way we'd like. We end up doing it for them. So we're learning. We're learning. We're really, really learning on how to strategize that. Because right now I have all the kids home today as my daughter surprised us from Las Vegas. They all should be outside doing yard work, but instead we're enjoying each other's company. They're not in school. They're not working. So I'm a little out of alignment today. So give me grace.
Hey man, as you know, Misty, how old is your oldest child?
My oldest is 25. Look, I had to think about that.
Okay. We won't tell. Is it a him or her? I don't want to say your child generically.
I'm sorry. She's 26.
She's 26. She'll never let you forget that. Now we'll keep this part confidential. Tell her not to watch the show. that you don't, that you,
Right.
it's a sign of, I believe it's a sign of mature parenting when you begin to forget the birth date or the birthday. Our oldest our oldest is just turned 29, and occasionally we miss the date or we miss the year, and we get no end of lickings as a result of it.
When 25 was like the magic number, so it's like I'll forever have 25 in my mind, and she's like, no, Mom, I'm 26. And my youngest is 9. So
wow, that's quite a range there. That is a range. That is a range. I've only got two girls, 29 and 25. And 25 is the fully formed frontal lobe. That's a very important year. I told Ashley this a long time ago, but how old is your daughter? Ashley, she's like 10, 13. How old is she?
Yes, she's 10, but she acts like she's 13.
So Misty knows what you've got. Misty knows what you've got coming, and you're going to really enjoy those amazing years from about, it starts at around 10, like you said, and I don't know about you, Misty, but ours didn't end till about, we had madness until like age 25. So
it
it was like
ends.
Guys, that's not, let's say to like, I just can't right now.
And then if you top that with real estate, with what we do, girl, everything's life-changing, right?
I have one. So like if I have more, then I won't have to hyper focus so much. But 10 is like, I'm just, the innocence is just dissolving, but she still wants snuggles. I'm going to hold on to that until she doesn't want to, even if it's weird. Maybe she'll be 20 and still want to snuggle, and fingers crossed.
Hey man, the one thing that is universal that Misty and myself, and I know that you're doing, Ashley, is enjoy every moment with them, because they're going to be gone before you know it, and they're going to have their own lives before you know it, and you will no longer be cool before you know it. So enjoy the moment. If she's there, enjoy it. It is a blessed moment. There you go. Deep breaths, Ashley. I see the deep breaths. Good job. I see it. All right. Okay. All right. Let's move on, ladies. Okay. I've got a couple of news I want to cover over here. Some things I think are kind of interesting. The FAA is impacting flights. The government shutdown is coming to Hawaii. Looks like as of today, November 7th, Hawaiian Airlines has canceled 4 neighbor island flights due to flight reduction requirements. So it is coming. And also there's a story there that Southwest Airlines is also canceling a bunch of airlines. So make sure a bunch of flights. So make sure that you watch over that quite carefully. If you are flying to Hawaii, be aware of that. And it's going to be a mess. Well, hopefully it won't be for too long, but it's a mess. Good news for the folks on Kauai. Amazon is opening a 42,000 square foot warehouse on Kauai. So man, the Kauai folks are going to be super happy about that. It is. Okay, a quick break here, ladies, is like, okay, you've all been here for long enough. Amazon is like the most incredible, you talk about first world problems, Ashley, first world luxuries, right? It is such a luxury, especially in Hawaii, right? I mean, we all remember, you've all been here long enough. We remember the time pre-Amazon when you had to get stuff the old fashioned way, and it either wasn't available or you couldn't get at it or whatever, right? Even I remember like the pre-big box stores before Home Depot came in, when all we had in Hawaii was like City Mill or on HPM, and you're kind of limited inventory of whatever you can get locally. But man, we are just so lucky. God bless Amazon, man. It's great. All right, okay, one more. So another AS will replace HA. So the Alaska Airlines bought out Hawaiian Airlines, and it looks like they're going to HA Hawaiian Airlines was going to say aloha to the HA code. So Hawaiian Airlines flights will no longer start with HA. I don't know if you guys knew about that, but HA is gone. Another airline. I don't know if you guys have tried to fly on a Hawaiian flight yet, but it's over. It is over.
Yeah, I was on the almost one of the last few days that they flew. No more direct to Boston, and that's where I go home to see my family in Massachusetts, New Hampshire. So
that flight's out. So
yeah, they're no more on that. Maybe they'll pick it back up once they kind of re-coordinate their schedule. It was a mess. Like, we paid for our bags on the app before we got there, and during this transition with Alaskan, they just will double charge you, and they're like, we'll have to call back and get credited. And it's a big system, overload and mess and everything. But maybe it's already starting to iron out. That was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Well,
I just traveled this last week. They haven't ironed it out yet, but I did work for the airlines for a little over 6 years. So I give them a little and a lot of grace. At the same time, I understand the transition, but it's been pretty painful. And they actually said it's probably not going to get better for at least another 6 months. So lots of prayer. Go to the airport, prayed up, and just armored up.
There you go, armor up.
Don't forget aloha.
Don't forget aloha on Hawaiian, right? That's the one over there. Well said. And Misty, thanks for that. Okay. I don't want to call this breaking news, but I want to call this unique news to this channel here. Thank you, Misty, for giving us the inside scoop. They told you about 6 months to go before they iron out the issue. So be aware of that. Be aware of that, everybody. You got 6 months. So what's that? 6 + 11 is like what? Summer of next year. Look out. Just kind of be aware. You may have issues. That makes sense. All right. Next up, real quick story here. Whale season here. Whale season has begun. I wanted to ask you guys this. Misty, are there any whale watching areas like on Oahu? We can go to X, Y, and Z and do whale watching. Where's the place to do whale watching on the Big Island?
We do have that as you're driving north. So I live in Kona, and our drive north would be more towards, the Kohala coast. As you're driving, you can clearly see whales. As you drive to Kohala, you can also see them by air. There's lots of opportunities by air, and of course by boat, providing that you stay within the guidelines and the rules and regulations to be able to see them safely and enjoy them. So yes, we do have opportunity to see them.
Awesome. So that that drive to Kohala from Kona, there's a couple of spots. Oh, that's cool. So Ashley, have you guys done any whale watching hikes with your daughter or your friends yet?
No, we have a sailboat and a catamaran in Waikiki called Sail Hawaiian Style. My ex-husband still runs it, so we get to go on the boat and stay 300, however many yards we're supposed to stay away from the whales, but they come up to the boat
legally
sometimes.
Supposed to do so. How cool is that, man? Ashley, that is the life, man. Having a catamaran in Waikiki. I have great memories of catamaran sails off Waikiki, man. Excellent memories.
Yeah, he does outer islands too and around the island trips, but we bought that boat and I just get violently seasick. And so I don't know why, but I still do it. I go on there and then I chum up the water and I enjoy it and just suffer. But it's amazing.
Hey man, look, I remember, as long as you know which way the wind is blowing and you let it loose on the lee side of the boat, you're okay.
I'll take that tip.
Well, it's from experience, because this is I'll make it brief because not too graphic. I once was I used to be on a sailboat racing team, and I got violently seasick, and I was facing into the wind, and that was a real big mistake, because it blew onto the whole crew, and they were not happy. They were not happy about that. So yeah, that was my big lesson. Yeah, there you go. So keep that in mind, Ashley. Keep that. Yeah, don't forget that. Don't forget that. All right. I do have another story, but I'm going to skip it because it's not relevant at this point. So why don't we do this? Let's kind of flip into let's go. First rule of broadcasting: don't tell people what you're really thinking. I shouldn't have said that we're going to skip a story, because now I'm going to say, well, what was the story that you were going to skip? So the story I was going to skip, right? Right. Okay. So now I got to talk about, not a big deal. So there are some affordable units going on in Lahaina. The reason why I skipped is because our good friend Heidi is not here today. She couldn't make it. But the quick story is that they celebrated 200 affordable housing units in Lahaina. And now those are rent only units. But just wanted to bring up that point, because if you need to have some real estate assistance, Heidi is definitely here to help, as is our other friends. All right, so that was a story that I was going to talk about that I then forced myself to talk about. All right, let's talk about a market update. Let's do this. How about let's get into Misty, why don't you get us all warmed up here with our Big Island market update? And by the way, before we start really quick, just want to give a quick quick thing to our friends, if you're listening, if you're with us, give us a quick shout out. We'd like to know that you're here. Say hello. We'd like to say hello back to you. Give us an idea of where you're from. That'd be fantastic. So with that being said, Misty, give us the Big Island market update. I got your awesome slide over here waiting for us. Thank you very much. What's going on the Big Island, Misty?
Thank you. So yes, here in Hawaii Island, of course, the volcano is volcanoing, definitely making more land for us here. However, we still experience globally, and of course within the islands, of what the market is doing right now. And like Dylan always says is, we don't participate in the noise around us. And of course, it is what we make of it. Everyone's going to say, oh, yeah, it's a buyer's market. It's a seller's market. It's this, it's that. Wait till the interest rates drop. Do all these things, look into the crystal ball and see what it reveals. So with that being said, as you can see the numbers there, if we look at the single family homes, with new listings, you definitely see that we have an increase there compared to 2024. We're now at 262 for 2025 compared to 244 in 2024. You also look at the sold listings, you can definitely see a slight increase as well for the condo
By
market.
the way, excuse me, just for a minute, I have to interrupt because I just want to tell you how much I love the nature background sounds. I love the birds. I'm hearing some animals in the back. It's so authentic. I love it. Also, just real quick, Bob Carl jumped in. Hey, Bob, good to see you, buddy. Welcome back. And as Irving said hello too. Hey, Irving, good to see you. So sorry for that interruption, Misty. I apologize. I didn't want to break your style, but I do love the wildlife, and I wanted to tell you about that so you could relax because we know we're hearing it and we're loving it. All right, so go ahead. So tell us.
I
so
love it too. They're speaking into my market, so that's our selling point as well. Now you got all the elements of the birds and the bees around us.
Love it.
Which the home next to me is for sale. We can talk about that offline.
Hey, all right, cool.
Market update. So with the condominiums, you can see the comparable number there. 2025 is at 74 new listings compared to 73. So very, very close there when it comes to the condominiums. And then, of course, if you looked at the sold listings comparable, 2025 was 39 compared to 42 in 2024. So you can see the comparison. Right now, not going to lie, I did take my foot off the gas a little bit with real estate because security consumed us. We own a private security company, but it does go hand in hand with, again, Aloha living everywhere you go. But with real estate, I do see a lot more homes becoming available on the market, and sellers that have had homes on the market for quite some time, you're now seeing price drops. I don't know if you folks are experiencing that, Ashley. It's a different market on Oahu, but there's a lot of homes, on the market available. It's just now having to partner up with the right people and bring it to the table. Let's talk about it. What I've been noticing is a lot of the buyers are waiting for prices to drop. They're waiting for sellers to drop the price, where we tell our buyers, you know what, let's talk about it. Connect with a trusted local expert and let's bring an offer to the table and let's try to meet each other halfway and negotiate. Because if not, you're going to wait for the rates to drop. You're going to have so much more people coming to the table. And then now you're going to have everyone offering the moon and the stars again. So again, like Dylan says, don't participate in the noise, and it really is what we make of it and who you connect with to be able to put their best foot forward.
Well said. And speaking of great people to connect with, let's connect with Judy Everett Weber. Welcome back, Judy. Judy has now become an old friend. I've known Judy for many years. Yeah, and the Big Island folks know Judy, and so Judy, welcome back. Good to see you, and thanks for being a part of this. We really appreciate it. And again, if you just joined us, just say hello. We like to say hello to everybody who's with us, and that's always kind of fun. So, all right, well said. This is interesting. So you're seeing there's some interesting. Number one is that some of the numbers are up, the new listings are up, as you mentioned. So that's kind of going up, and so it's going to be interesting to kind of see. Hopefully, we've seen. I don't want to call it a bottoming out because I'm with you on the timing. Real estate is not a timing thing. Real estate is just, buy smart, buy the best you can, get the good deal, all that kind of good stuff. Go with an expert, of course, who know what they're doing, because you're not buying, as my dad used to say, we're not buying sandwiches here. We're buying real estate. It's a big deal. So you want to be with smart people, but you kind of want to just do it. So that's going to be interesting to kind of see what kind of opportunities are going to be coming around. Now, Ashley, I'm going to hang on folks here while I reload the slide. I don't know if you did if you updated your Oahu site, but let's just do the Oahu market update. Ashley, why don't you give us the update? What's going on over there?
I pseudo updated it. There is a new slide in there. I'm sorry. I wasn't here the last show, and we decided we were going to come up with an infographic for you guys to have.
Don't tell everybody about the back. Don't make the mistake. Don't tell everyone about the backstory. They don't want. Then you got to show it. Then you got to talk about it.
Super intentional, guys. So the market update for Oahu. We do have a little bit of a different market. Last month in September, we actually had an incredible month compared to even COVID market, which was very unexpected, I feel. So in October, it was still great. We had a very stable market overall. I like to, on my visual, I want to compare 2025 to 2024 for year to year. And then I like to look at during peak COVID market 2021 and then pre-COVID market. So I like to have 4 years right now because that was just such an anomaly. So overall, for single family homes, we closed sales at 261, which was very similar to 2024. For condos, we sold significantly higher at 543 versus 402. That's about 10% higher, which is still pretty good. If we compare both of those, so single families to COVID market peak and pre-COVID market, we still sold less. So even though the market is great and it's stable, it's strong, we still sold less than pre-COVID market. And for condos, we sold more, which was very unexpected. For a while on the show, we've been talking about how the condo market was suffering because of insurance prices and interest rates and all these special assessments. So we're really seeing a comeback in our condo market. I think people are just getting a bit more familiar with the new norms of what these prices and maintenance fees are. And a lot of these assessments, my theory is that they've been paid up or they are less cumbersome or expected. New listings are higher than we saw last year. So we're seeing more inventory. We did see an increase of the list to sale price, which means people are 25% in the single family market are offering above asking price still, about 21% in the condo market. So I think here we are blessed with a strong market for our sellers, while buyers still having the ability to negotiate. And I just say that this is a caveat for people who are looking to buy. These numbers do not include seller credits. So funds that the buyer is able to negotiate the seller to pay for closing costs, or if you're a veteran, pay down some debts. We do still see a lot of big credits.
Excellent. So give me this. So give me a sense from both of you. Actually, why don't you go first because you just were finishing up. What is your sense of sort of my negotiating power as a buyer? And let's talk about condos for right now. How would you characterize in today's market, today's situation? What is my negotiating power as a buyer on a scale from 1 to 5? 1 meaning forget it. You have it's totally a seller's market. 5 is like, oh my God, you could just kind of make any offer and it'll get accepted. Kind of a seller's market. Where do you kind of put the seller's negotiating power in today's market for condos on Oahu?
I would say right in between, right? Maybe a 3. I would give buyers a little bit more leverage than sellers right now, depending on building, depending on area. The older the building, the more upcoming maintenance, the more questionable the maintenance fees are, higher negotiations. Often people also own those units possibly longer, so you have more inventory from homeowners that had more equity versus newer buildings. They purchased them more recently. They might have less equity, less room to negotiate.
Excellent. So the real answer is it depends. It depends on the situation, which is why you want to be with someone who knows what they're doing. Speaking of people who know what they're doing, Misty, how would you characterize, what's your answer to now Kona may be different or the Big Island may be different because condos versus homes, but what would you put, where do you see the sort of buyer's negotiating power? How would you kind of characterize that in your way on the Big Island?
Thank you, Peter. Ashley was spot on. If I had to put a number on it, so to speak, I'd gauge maybe 5 or 6-ish right now. But you hit that target word, is it really depends. It depends on the location. Just as Ashley also said with equity, there's so many factors that play into the role of it. But bottom line, again, it goes back to one, connecting with your trusted local expert to be able to put their best foot forward. But at the same time, knowing the market and knowing what's out there where homes are sitting on the market longer. And we got to let the market speak for itself, right? If you're not having any activity now, you're not only looking at 1 month, 2 months, you're looking at 6 months, even close to a year that homes have just been sitting. And to me, that's an indication, you know what, let's get a buyer, let's bring an offer to the table, let's talk about it. I just see right now, everyone, again, waiting for rates to drop and then come to the table, where it's like, no, come to the table now, let's talk about it before everyone else does. But again, it's all case by case, and it really, really depends on the situation. But yes, on Hawaii Island, way different than Oahu. Our assessments are in a way different category when you speak about the numbers. But again, at the same time, it just really depends. It's always a great time to buy, right? I mean, you ask yourself, I tell a lot of people is 10 years down the line, you're not going to tell yourself, oh my gosh, I should not have bought this 10 years ago. You're going to tell yourself, I wish I bought more. I've never met anyone that regretted their real estate purchase years down the line. They always said they wish they bought more. So I'm going to hold to that.
True.
Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth?
I do have a caveat to our stats that I think is important for anybody selling or buying. And yes, I agree with everything that Misty said. These prices too, the above list price averages, the median sales price, the average price reduction that we also see is 2 price reductions before a property is sold. And I think that's interesting. So if you're motivated, price it right. And like Misty said, don't be afraid to ask, and put in a low offer. You never know their circumstance. But with that, after that second price reduction, they're getting above.
So that's interesting. So so that's an interesting little stat there. And I know this is all like at the margins, but hearing what you just said, Ashley, I would think as a buyer, I'd kind of want to look at a home that's had 1 price reduction and been on the market for a while. They might be ready for a second one, but like you said, after they make the second one, then the price goes, then they get a higher offer, right? If I heard you correctly. So you kind of want to, so then, again, this is like all at the edges, right? This is all at the margins, but hey, if you want to play that game, look at the houses the homes that have been had through 1 price reduction and they've been on the market for a little while after that price reduction. They might be ready for a second one. Don't wait for that. Don't wait for them to do that second one. Make that, on your point, Misty, make that offer, which would represent that second price drop that they would normally take. God, I'm talking too long for this. And then you might
right. But that depends on the island. Like on the east side, we're seeing some people come in 20,000 above asking price with appraisal clauses, meaning they'll pay above the appraised value, and they're still getting outbeat. So again, depends on the side of the island and which island, because there's parts here that people are still bidding wars are happening.
It depends. It depends. It depends.
Is a big word.
It depends.
Like diapers, it depends.
Right? It depends. Exactly. It depends. And that's where you got to be with your trusted agent. All right. Great conversation. Yeah. And Kinaya, yes, Kinaya, we are live right now. This is the live show. You made it. Kinaya is I love Kinaya because Kinaya is one of my favorites because, like my children, they're all my favorites. I love Judy. I love Kinaya, but these are all some of the founding members of the Islander Ohana, and they are still hanging with us after all these years. Literally, how many years has it been, you guys? It's been a while. So aloha to you, Kinaya, and give us an update. Are you still doing we have a term in the Islander Ohana called the unvacation, which is if you think you want to live in Hawaii, come actually live in Hawaii for like a few months and pretend that you're living in Hawaii. Simulate it. Do the simulation. So Kinai, how was the simulation? How's the unvacation? Okay, she made the transition. I'll never leave. All right, because we were worried about there for a little while. Kinai, she was like, man, I'm not sure about this. She was getting hit with the reality of living in Hawaii and what that's all about. But I'm glad to hear that, Kinai. It's very, very cool. Awesome. All right, let's move on, folks. Next slide, please. Okay, how did you get here? If you got here with the newsletter, if you got the invite and the link, you're good. If you did not, if you kind of found us some other way organically, like Irving, how did you get here, Irving? If you did not get here through the link, make sure you go to livinginhawaii.com, get on the newsletter. You'll get great content. Every day they're publishing articles, and you get these great shows, not the least of which is Misty, who holds the other Friday shows, which is fantastic. So make sure you get onto and get a part of that. Go to livinginhawaii.com. All right. So Kenai staying until mid-December. All right, man. All right. That's perfect. Good. Well, I hope you're having an amazing adventure. All right. Let's go on. I've got, never leave the Ohana. Okay. Well, that's it, man. And the Ohana is going to be here forever. So you can actually, Kenaya, you could not leave the Ohana if you wanted to, because we're not going to let you leave. Ohana means nobody can.
Was there a blood oath?
Ohana. Blood. Well, it was, I believe it was Lilo who gave us that great wisdom quote. Ohana means nobody gets left behind.
Ohana means family, and family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten.
Thank you for the exact quote, man. There you go, man. That's right off the script. Thank you, Misty. That is exactly true. Ohana means family, and family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten. Excellent. So great. All right, cool. Hey, so I've got a topic here. I was just we had a couple of things. I was going to get you guys a take on this. We just like last week, we just went through the mainland, the transition to daylight savings time, which I think for us in Hawaii, I think for me, it's a little bit more convenient because we don't switch. We don't switch from standard time to daylight savings time. We're always in Hawaii Standard Time, HST. And I like it because we're 1 hour closer. So my daughter, who's now living in Chicago, she used to be 5 hours away from me, and now she's only 4 hours away from me. So and West Coast is only 2 hours away from us versus 3. I like that better. But I'm kind of curious. There's always a little bit of a mix up because the mainland changes and Hawaii doesn't change, and kind of how do you deal with that? I'm just kind of curious with the two of you. Let's start with Misty. Misty, what if anything do you do in Hawaii to remind yourself or to deal with the DST versus, the daylight savings versus the standard time? How do you deal with those changes? I'll give you my tech tip, but that'll be last. What's yours, Misty?
Honestly, that has been so out of sight, out of mind for me and off my radar. And it's my calendar. Like Dylan always says, it doesn't exist if it's not in your calendar. And so just as I'm getting notifications, daylight savings, switch this, switch that. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, my calendar, did I miss any appointments today? And so perfect example this morning is my mind and my body told myself to prepare for 9 o'clock. So automatically my alarms were for this morning show to start at 9. So I did come out at 9 and I'm like, nobody's on here. I went, oh my gosh, it switched to 10. And sure enough, it is on my calendar at 10. I just failed to really look at it and engage in it because my mind and my body was already set to that habit. So I don't do anything unless something comes to my forefront and, hey mom, my daughter, she lives in another state. So anytime if I miss, appointments that way, that's my indication. They're my alarms. Other than that, like you said, it didn't really affect us here other than missed appointments that hasn't started yet. So thank God.
The funniest thing is what I really hate the most about me is when I've got it on my calendar, it's at the right time of the calendar, everything is all set, but my mind has somehow believed it's some other time or some other date, and I completely screw up the appointment. That is like the most humiliating moment.
Right? That's where I was this morning. I thought I missed, but
so humiliating. Especially me personally, because of my OCD, whatever the hell, twisted brain. Time is like massively important to me. Being on time for everything. I'm never late for anything ever, except when I completely screw up and my calendar.
Bless your heart.
Yeah, well, no, don't. Lord Jesus Christ, have mercy on me, the sinner, because man, that is one of my most humiliating moments. Ashley, how do you deal with the time changes with the DST versus HST? How do you handle it?
I feel like I want to go and just be in politics simply so that I can help push through the Sunshine Protection Act. I despise daylight savings transitions. I have a lot of mainland appointments, and it's one more thing. It's a mental load to have to remember and re-coordinate with everyone, and then it just messes everything up. We are so blessed. I love not having it here. I feel totally bad for the new parents and everyone who has to deal with the time changes with their little ones. I think it's absolutely absurd. They have tried to push this through so many times by the Senate, and then it fails when it gets to the House of Representatives because they cannot decide and make a consensus if they want to keep it an hour ahead or an hour late. If it's one, it's too dark in the morning and not safe for the children, and the other is linked to depression if it gets too dark too early at night. And I'm like, this is depressing, having to constantly go back and switch our clocks. I mean, I have family from the East Coast, Misty, so and I talk to them every day, but a lot of clients too. And I have a lot of agents that I collaborate with across the nation as well. So I am against, if that was not clear.
And East Coast is like the worst, right? Because East Coast is like 6 hours ahead during standard time, which is like really, really tough, right?
That's
like,
really tough. So right now, this is my favorite. This is what I would prefer. Whether this is ahead or back, I don't know, because we don't have to change our clocks. I forget.
It's daylight saving. It's daylight savings time now. Yeah.
So we save daylight. So I like daylight. I want to save it, and let's save the daylight.
Save the daylight. Save the daylight. Okay, so now I have my tech tip that is going to solve your problems, ladies, and anybody else who's watching. Here is the way to do it where you'll never have to worry about it, assuming, unlike me, that you look at your calendar. If you look at your calendar, it'll save it. So here's all I got to do. This is a Google Calendar, but I'm sure that all the other ones do it too. Really simple. When you make the appointments, there is a feature in Google Calendar that you could set it based on the time zone. So what you do, say you have an appointment let's say it's a 10 o'clock Hawaii time. Well, 10 o'clock Hawaii time now would be in the East Coast, would be 3 p.m., for example, Ashley, right? So what you would do is you would set it for 3 p.m. Eastern time. So not 10 p.m., don't do a 10 a.m. Hawaii time. Set it for 3 p.m. Eastern time and put Eastern time in there's like a drop down.
I do that when I travel out of country. That's a great idea for mainland.
Do it for the mainland. And Misty, same thing. Misty, wherever your daughter lives, where does your daughter, if you wanted to, what time zone? You don't have to tell me what time zone does your daughter live in?
She is in Las Vegas, so just a couple hours ahead, not drastic.
Okay, so it's Pacific time. So set your time for your daughter to Pacific time in your, so you would set, like right now it's 10:30 Hawaii time. You would set it for 12:30 p.m. Pacific time, right? In the calendar. And then it switches automatically. Like the show. I've got our show set for 9 a.m. Pacific time, and it switches I didn't do that switch to 10 a.m. It does it automatically.
Oh, that makes sense why I did that. I was wondering why it popped up appropriately on the calendar. Good thinking. Also, very good quick math. I know 10 plus 5 is not hard, but you just did it really fast.
It's hard for me. Yeah, 10 plus 5. Well, yeah. Well, thank you. Well, hey, Ashley, it's 40 years of doing freaking time translations in Hawaii, man, right? It's like, okay, 10 plus 5 is 30. Okay, wait, hold on. 10 plus 5 is 13 minus 12 is 1. Okay, bam, so that's, it's 40 years of doing the trend. Anyway, so that's the hot tip. So the hot tip, if you have mainland appointments, set it for the mainland time and put the time zone in the calendar. It will automatically switch. And also, Ashley, as you said, that's really great for traveling too, because when you're traveling, it'll automatically translate based on where your location is. So the moral of the story is set the appointment in the time zone of the person that you're scheduled to call, and it will automatically update. And
I think any of the listeners, you should put a comment down if you're watching it now or later. Which time zone do you prefer? Do you like the time change? Do you not like it? And we'll add that to the petition.
There you go. Ashley's inserting the political movement over here. She's doing a petition. Ashley, save the day. I love the name, by the way. Save the daylight. I love that. Save the daylight. Save the daylight. That'd be like, there you go. That's it. She's going to run on that. I think you should run. That's a congressional run there, right? Ashley, I'm going to run for, I'm going to do a one term only. I'm going to run for Congress with the sole purpose of saving the daylight. That is in this political climate too, that
I feel like that would be nothing compared to everything else going on. I could just slide
Well,
that
you're
right
not
through.
kidding. You're not kidding. Kinaya's got it. Yeah, my husband's so confused. He works with people in Austin, Shanghai, and Canada. I know, man. Well, I feel for your husband. I feel for him. I know where it's at. When I back in the heydays, I had clients like your husband does. I had clients that I work with in India, in South America, in New York. It was just all over the place. It was really, really crazy. It was insane. But Kinai, I'm curious, has your husband found any benefit to being in Hawaii's time zone? Because one of the many things that's really cool about Hawaii's time zone, it is one of the few places on earth where you can talk to New York and Japan in the same business day, because you cross both sides. So it's the only place that's got the time zone that works that way. So I'm curious about what your husband's feedback has been, if it's helped or not. We got some comments here from, maybe Ashley, you might be getting some political support here. Hate it when we spring ahead, love it when we sleep the extra hour, right? Not sure why we do it anymore. It's just confusing. Yeah, it's a long history. Okay, Bob Carl, there you go. Bob, we need to give Bob the GoFundMe or the donation site, DST year round. Vote for the DST. Thank you, Bob. God bless you. Anybody else do you want DST like the current time or the other time during the spring? Let us know. All right. Next slide, please. Let's move on. Let's get some diamonds and deals over here. Our friends are going to give us some ideas of properties that they like and properties that they feature, some diamonds, some deals, some a little bit of both. Let's go through the slides over here and see what we got. This is Heidi's, who's not here with us. Whose is this? Is this either of you guys? No. Okay. There you go. This has got to be yours, Misty. Kailua Kona.
That's actually Ashley.
Oh, I saw
Kailua.
Kailua, even though I missed Oahu in parentheses. Hello. Ashley, give us. I'm a little bit, it's hard for me to see as I'm clicking my inside baseball here. I'm not going to talk about it. Ashley, what are we looking at here? This looks amazing.
Yeah. So this is a $50 million diamond. This is not the deal, but this is absolutely a diamond. It has two houses right on Kalaheo, beachfront in Kailua. You have if you need a family compound and you have a little extra pocket cash, you absolutely need to look at this house. You have a total of 12 bedrooms, 13 and a half bathrooms. You have a bazillion parking stalls. You have how much linear square feet? It's 2.2 acre lot, but you have just a crazy
12,000. It says 12,000 square feet of living space, which is insane.
It's insane. Yeah. The land is 95,000 square feet, 2.2 million in Kailua on the ocean. Just nothing else like this exists. To be honest, this is one of a kind. You're not going to find a property. I put in a picture of the aerial for size reference here. You have a 1,200 square foot cabana just for the pool itself, which has a waterfall and a big slide. It's a saltwater pool. It's very private. You're tucked back off the beach as well. You have solar panels. This is just an absolute dream. So if anybody wants to pitch in with me and make this like a retreat home, just send me a DM or comment in here, because I want this house so bad, or I want someone that I know to have this house and invite us over for Thanksgiving or for a birthday party. This is an absolute one-of-a-kind property on Oahu. And this is listed by my girl, Stephanie Ray-Ban. She's with Compass, and she's amazing. And I called her before, and I was like, can I highlight your most stunning listing that I think we have on Oahu? And she said, absolutely.
This needs to be the Islander Ohana compound. That's what I got to say. We need the Islander Ohana clan to all kind of get it right. Hey, Kinaya, what do you say? I say that we do this, right? That's what Kinaya, right? Let's do it. Judy, it's where's Judy? There's Judy. Judy, let's do it. Let's get the Islander Ohana to, look, we put in $1 million each. There's 50 of us, done. Right there, you go.
Easy. I mean, I feel like we could totally get, and if we need external people, like, we will raise capital. I'm sure we can get some people to pull out mortgages on their homes. We can figure this out, people.
We could do this. We could do this. I mean, this is okay. So clearly, this is stunning. I mean, it's number one. You mentioned it quickly, but you said a 95,000 square foot property. Is that right? Is that what you said? 95,000 square feet.
Yeah, just under 96,000 square foot property, actually. So 2.2 acres. It
2.2
has
acres on the beach. On the
on the
beach in
beach.
Kailua.
This is a
Damn.
resort. You have your own miniature resort,
No kidding.
2,000 square
For
foot pool
real.
cabana with a full
Jesus.
kitchen inside of that. You have, like I said, the PV panels. Not that I think you're worried about your electricity bill at this price
You're not
point, but
kidding.
just in case you have it. And it's saltwater pool, so you know it's good for your skin. And I'm sure you can throw in a movie theater and a sauna here pretty easy.
Jesus. Yeah. Well, okay. So malasadas, I can handle malas. All right. That's it. That's what we need. Can I bring the malasadas? Yeah, this is cool. Thanks. Thank you, Ashley, for giving us. I mean, so Ashley, did you inspect this property as part of your due diligence as a realtor and all that kind of good stuff?
I did, yes. She was very kind enough to let us view the property. I did not take a video, unfortunately, but I know some exist out there. And
Yeah.
she was very gracious to letting us in there and preview it. I thought I had
So
someone.
how was the experience? I'm curious, how was the experience of going through this?
It was motivational. So it was, I
Okay.
actually thought I might have someone. That's why I originally went in here, because I had someone who was looking at something similar, but they wanted Kahala. And I thought maybe they could pivot over here and just throw in an extra 10 million. So I was there on a mission, and I only got to be there for about 15 minutes, which is not enough to explore the property. You need a good hour, or so to really get into it. But it was just, it's a really well-maintained asset too. And the landscaping is just everything about it. You just feel like you're in your own private oasis. You do not know you even have neighbors. You can't even tell they exist. And you don't see anybody from on the beach too, which is something that's really nice because you have all this privacy. So any of those higher end clients that are looking for privacy, this is for them.
This is the one. All right. And let's come back down to earth, because I haven't seen it in advance, but I'm going to hope that Misty could bring us back. Could bring us back to work, but well, maybe not. I sneak peeked at this slide ahead of time. Maybe not. And Misty, Jesus, what is this? We are on a roll today, folks. We are on a roll.
I felt the Ashley vibe before even seeing her in face, and look at what we have. Another
damn girl.
This was not planned.
Totally not planned.
Damn.
Completely unscripted.
We are dreaming today. What is this? What is this, Misty?
So this here is the beautiful, it's an oasis. It's a haven, and it is definitely a diamond. To me personally, of course, I see it as definitely a deal because it is priceless. It's completely priceless. It is on sacred land, as all of our islands are. You can never put a number on it. And that's what I just hold dear to my heart. Anywho, with all that being said, this is actually my Hanai uncle's property, and it is lovingly listed by Robert Kildau of Hualalai Realty, which, yes, he did give me the blessings of being able to feature Uncle's home. This home was actually on my real estate video. When I did my first introductory video of me as a realtor, I was able to film at his home. So I feel like this is my house, And yes, it's going to take a very, very special buyer, but it is right at the point in Kīholo. So definitely the playground of our kings and our royalty. It's just so special and so sacred. I did have a typo there, and it is actually 8 full baths and 5 half. So that came out as 8.5. So please disregard that error here. And of course, if you have any further,
wait. So it's 8 baths and 5 half baths.
Yes, so 13 total. So I meant to put 8
total.
full and 5 half, and I just did the 8.5. My brain just wasn't braining this morning. So, but yes, it's absolutely beautiful. It is breathtaking, and it is actually 4 separate residences across 5 parcels, so 5 different TMKs, and it is Kīholo. Ashley, if you're familiar with the hotel that we had our level up at, the Outrigger, it is the home across of the point. So it overlooks that entire Kīholo Bay area.
Holy.
So that means, side note, just to add to this property detail, that you have manta rays out in your front yard then that you could go swim with in the evenings.
And talk about whale watching, panoramic views of that as well. And it's absolutely beautiful. You know, our family has spent a lot of time here. Lots of family time, very, very sacred, very special, and very dear to my heart. And I just pray that somebody, you know, will just be able to purchase this and be able to embrace the culture and all the spiritualness that this embodies. So that is what I
Man.
wanted to share this morning.
Well, now we all
Man.
have to buy this one, Misty.
Yeah, we got to buy this one too then. That's
Oahu
it.
and Hawaii Island.
Dang.
Why not?
Dang. Why not?
All right, we just need 20 more Highlander Island members.
There you
that
go. Yep,
another
that's it.
million.
Right.
That's all. Piece of cake. Let's do it, man. We'll just sell it. Well, here we'll put this on some cryptocurrency, and you'll be able to buy coin. You know, but you have to buy crypto coins.
Yes.
Just buy. You know, that's it. And buy the crypto coin, and you'll own an interest in both of these properties. You know what really strikes me about this, and I've said this before at various times, but in my opinion, you know, the nothing comes close to like the top of the Hawaii homes. In other words, the homes in Hawaii, these top homes, these priceless, nothing in the rest of the world compares. And I'm sure maybe someone could dispute that, but man, you know, a stunning home is in Hawaii has no equal, right? A stunning home in Hawaii has no equal like this one. There is no equal to this thing. This is absolutely astounding. I mean, Ashley's beachfront home is unbelievably amazing, but the two are almost like you can't even compare them, right? This is like sacred ground, manta rays on a peninsula, all this kind of stuff, right? It's crazy. And Ashley's is like this incredible estate that's sitting, it's on the beach, swimmable beach, etc. They're just incomparable, but they're both amazing. And homes in Hawaii like this are like, they're without peerless.
Yeah, I agree to that. The parallels here is you have this like cliffside, so you have this ultimate privacy of no one being able to walk by, and truly the sea life outside of this area is one of a kind, and like you said, so sacred and so special. And 4 homes, and the Kailua one, that's 5 acres of sandy beachfront to walk. It's 2.5 miles, but 5 miles if you walk the whole thing. So like there has these, 2 different cups of tea here. There's not pictures of the beach, but this is 2.5 mile stretch back and forth. I love
it's incredible.
Well, it's and incredible. The beauty of this one too, if I may add, it does not have an HOA established, so it doesn't come with any CCNRs. I didn't list that there because, of course, spiritually and culturally, I'm like, yes, collectively, what the HOA and the CCNRs would be when it comes to preserving the land and getting into the culture.
God's aspect. HOA. It's God's HOA.
Exactly. So that was my interpretation is on paper, yes, there's no HOA, no CCNRs, but at the same time, Peter, you said it. There is massive HOA, God ordained HOA.
Big time HOA. A much more important, much more consequential HOA. We threw a bunch of words here. HOA means Homeowners Association. CCNR means what? What does CCNR mean?
Covenant codes and restrictions. They're built
covenant
into
codes
reports.
Bingo. So
covenant codes and property, and they sell and they convey with the land, and you find it in the title report.
Okay, so basically legal rules, HOAs or CCNRs are legal rules that dictate how you can use the house. And as Misty said, all the minor stupid ones are not present, but the big one is huge. The big one is huge. And that's God's HOA. The biggest, most important HOA you could ever possibly imagine, carrying forward the ancient Hawaiian spirit and the gods and all the mana, as you so eloquently say. That's the one you don't want to mess with. That's the one you don't want to mess with. That's the one you want to. Okay. And speaking of messing with, we are messing with our closing time. So we're going to bring this bad boy to a close over. Those were some amazing properties, ladies. That was really incredible. Quite inspirational. All right. We got some closing thoughts. And if you've got some that you want to share, we'd like to hear about it. Let's go to, let me click over here first to see, make sure I got the first one correct. Okay, Ashley, you're up first, Ashley. What's yours? What's your quote for today, and how is it meaningful to you?
We don't always get to choose the path, but we choose how to walk it. I just think that we tend to be sometimes a victim to circumstances, rather champion through them. So just a reminder for myself and for other people, like the destiny and the direction that we go in sometimes has a mind of its own, but it's our perspective and our mentality as we're doing it.
Excellent, man. That was stated so perfectly. It's like, did you read that off a script as you rattled that off? Or is that just like stream of consciousness going on there?
That was my divine conscious just coming out.
There you go,
And
man. Stream of consciousness, man. Okay, that was the HOA owner coming through there.
Yes.
Yes. That's, I think that's what we need to do from now on, Misty, is like refer to Akua or God
Right.
as the HOA, as the ultimate HOA owner, right?
100%.
The writer of the author of the ultimate HOA. That's how we could refer to him. Actually, that was
Ashley,
great.
is that you in that picture?
Yeah, it's me and my daughter.
Isn't that adorable? Isn't it an
Oh,
adorable shot?
it's perfect.
It
That
gives
is
me
just
all the
such
feels, and this is the only time I get to see it again in full.
love
So I like keeping it.
It is a wonderful captured moment. This one of these one that, as we all have these amazing photos that were just moments or whatever that came across in our families that we hold and we treasure. I've got a few of my own, of course. And you look at these, you're like, man, this captured an amazing moment. And so I'm so glad that you were able to capture yours. And excellent. All right, Misty, what's yours with Madame Pelly in the background here to talk about HOA owners?
Actually, not mine's.
Okay, well then this is the one. There's yours. Okay, got it.
Yes, short and sweet, to the point. Have faith, keep going, stay strong, don't quit. God got you.
That's it, man. God's got you.
That's it. Mic drop.
That is it, right there. Mic drop. There's no. The show ends. We're done. That was it. No, all said. That's it, right there. Those are those simple things. Especially, what speaks out. I mean, they're all important, but what speaks to me is don't quit. Don't quit. That's the key. Don't quit. Don't quit in whatever that you're doing.
Every day.
Have you?
God got you, got me. That's the line I like in it.
That's it. God got you. So, Misty, have you if you haven't yet, you need to trademark your phrase, Aloha living everywhere you go.
I know you said that the last time. I need to
Did I?
get on it.
Sorry to repeat myself. Yes.
No,
yes.
thank you. I appreciate it. It's good reminders.
Yep. Because that's like a bumper. That's like a whole, especially with your family background, man. You could make that like a bumper sticker, a clothing line, a sports exercise line, the whole bit. An MME or MMA, whatever, boxing. That's like the whole thing, man. That'd be like that's a line of jewelry.
We have the Aloha law,
so
we just didn't make that up. But yeah, live it everywhere you go, no matter what. It's always going to be tough, but just remember Aloha and all those moments.
The fact that you keep saying that, and it's also a testament to you, Misty, is that you don't run and try to make, which you should. And I agree with Peter. And I definitely think you should trademark it and leverage that because it's fantastic and a good reminder and affirmation for everyone. But the fact that it just embodies you and your way of life and thinking, that you don't just run to go be like, oh, I can capitalize on this. So I love that about you and that embodiment of you. But also
well, hey, look. So let me give you the feral entrepreneur's view of this as someone who's gone through 7 startups over 40 years. The reason why you want to trademark this is not just so you can commercialize and all that kind of stuff, but the reason why you want to trademark this is because if it's trademarked, it can grow. It can grow big, and it could grow much, much bigger beyond you because people will want to participate in what you're doing, and by people participating, they are paying for the growth of the line. You can make it a nonprofit. It doesn't matter, but by trademarking it, you get to guide it the way you want to guide it, and people can participate and make it grow. So think of it from that perspective. It's not about commercializing it. Yeah. It's not about commercializing or making money, which it could be, but there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. We all live on this, and money is when people value something, they're going to give you money for it. Anyway, okay. Soapbox, feral entrepreneur soapbox off. Let's move on. I got one left over here, and this is a little bit of a different one, but it kind of says it in a different way. Proverbs 20:30. Do not love sleep, lest you come to poverty. Open your eyes, and you will be satisfied with bread. Long story short, don't be slacking. Don't be slacking. Work your butt off. Work your butt off. That's what it is. Open your eyes, work. Do not love sleep, even though I love sleep. Love sleeping in. I'm semi-retired and I love sleeping in every day now. Every day is a Saturday now. It's like I just stay in bed.
Not rubbing it in, Peter. We're not anywhere close to that.
Yeah, well, I get some motivation, man. I every morning I wake up and I'm like,
25.
Like someone called me at 4 a.m. I'm very tired right now. But you know what I like about this proverb, Peter, is that there's, I think, there's an agent on my team. He's a pastor, and I think he called it an evangelic Christian, someone who just prays on everything that they want to happen to them instead of going out there to make it happen for them. I don't know if that's the correct term, but he's like, I see that, and I always try to guide them out of that because it's an echo chamber in their congressional that they will, pray through everything and pray about it, and they'll get out of debt if they pray about it. And you can't always pray your way out of these situations that he will gift you when you do the work.
Well said. Well said. I want to, because we have a few minutes, I'm going to comment on that. So, but first I wanted to point out to Kenai, who sees everything that we've been doing as they're very inspiring. I love, this is one of my favorite parts of the show. It's great to kind of reflect on life and everything. So thank you for the comment, Kenai. Look, I will go as a devout Christian myself. I will go a one step further. As I also straddle the Hawaiian ways, Misty, the Hawaiian shamanic ways as well. I've got both. It's not just praying. God is not an Uber. God is not an Instacart driver where you place your order in through prayer and it gets delivered to your house. God doesn't do that. He's not your he is not your Uber driver. He's not your Uber Eats driver. You don't just program in what you want God to do for you and God delivers it. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. And even when you learn the secrets of the universe, which is how to manifest anything that you want, it's still not effective to pray or whatever to focus your attention to manifest what you want. No, what you really want to do is you want to pray and manifest that God will show you the path that you are to take on your own. That's the path. Right? Because we could all make anything happen. There's a million self-development books that tell you how to manifest reality, and they're all true. You can manifest anything that you want. But then once you can do that, what do you really want to manifest? You really want to manifest the divine plan that the HOA author has for you, and then execute that plan. That's the plan.
And faith without works is dead.
Faith without works is dead. There's nothing. That's it. You got to do works. Otherwise, you're not showing glory. You're not showing appreciation. You're not, that's not what Jesus didn't just have faith. He did stuff. He did stuff.
Sure.
He didn't just kind of sit back. He did it. All right. We're done.
Amen
that's
to
it.
all that.
Amen. Hallelujah. All right. That's it. We're going to see you in 2 weeks on November 21st. And of course, that's the same time for you. We're going to do it at 10 a.m. But it's been amazing. I love you guys. I was so looking forward to today, Misty, having you on. It was great conversation, great fun. All right. Let's say goodbye. Counterclock. Let's say counterclockwise and say goodbye in your own way. Ashley and then Misty, say goodbye.
Hey, everyone. Have a great weekend and happy Veterans Day next week. And God bless.
Aloha, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. And yes, don't forget, aloha living everywhere you go.
Aloha living everywhere you go. And Kenai has got her prayer rainbow and shaka sign over there. I love it. Yeah, absolutely love it. Thank you, Kenai. It's been great seeing you again. Glad you're going to be here until December. Hope you guys have a great time. And this is Peter K. And thank you for asking for pointing out that we have Veterans Day coming up. That's fantastic. All of our veterans. Dylan, who is does he consider himself a veteran anyway? Whatever it is, we celebrate. Love you all. Take care. Aloha. Have a great one, folks. See you in 2 weeks.
Blessings. Aloha.